So as you guys know, obviously choice is pretty important for our games. And one of the big things with the Dragon Age Keep is that we want the world that you shaped to be captured faithfully from the past experiences and reflected that in Dragon Age Inquisition, regardless of what platform and whether it's now for Inquisition or perhaps into the future. We also want to resolve a couple of previous challenges and limits of that we encountered with save file imports. That includes things like jumping to a new engine, obviously moving into new generation platforms. There's, as you guys are familiar, there's some past import data issues that we've had as well. And in general, just trying to future-proof the system so that this is something that if we are going to do a bit of a reset, we do it once and it's something that can last us for a long time. While the Keep is definitely more of a utility, we want to make sure that it doesn't feel like a tool. We want it to be something that anyone can use and that you can spend as little or as much time as you want on it. My personal hope is that when you go and do replay, planning out your playthroughs and going back and wanting to play any of the other games, that you don't feel like it's a chore to have to use the Keep to be able to either set up those worlds or to kind of discover things, plan out things that you wanted to go and discover in the past games that maybe you didn't realize were there. The Keep obviously is a website, you're familiar with that. It is being built and designed to look and feel like an app. That's so that it plays nicely with touch devices, which is a much more common way statistically when we look at traffic stats and so forth for how people are browsing these days, as well as things like companion experiences. It is available on any modern browser, virtually any platform, without any plugins or downloads. So that's very important in terms of making it accessible to as many people as possible. It is completely free, and it will be available to everyone before Dragon Age Inquisition ships, so everyone will have lots of time to be able to go in and play with it. Obviously, we've been fairly quiet about it. It is still a work in progress, but today we really wanted to show you where we're at, and specifically for PAX, to give everyone a first look, if they're not on the beta, of how it works. And by the time we're done, I'm hoping that you'll have a better understanding of what to expect, how you're going to make those choices, and most importantly, how simple it is to get it into Dragon Age Inquisition. So let's go ahead and show some of the Keep. Obviously, everything starts with a login. Everything is tied to your Origin account. It is on consoles, it may be a little bit different than your Xbox Live or PlayStation Network account, but if you played recent Electronic Arts games or our previous Dragon Age games on a console, chances are you already have one of these. Because everything is tied to it, it's how the Keep talks to the game, so it's important that you pick the Origin account that you are going to be using for Dragon Age Inquisition. We have this confirmation page which we've introduced and we'll be rolling out as part of the beta, and we'll be live once we ship the Keep. One of the big things that we noticed with our past games, a lot of previous in our previous games, is a lot of players don't necessarily realize that they sometimes have more than one Origin account. We also have single sign-on on the Keep, so if you're coming from another EA website, you could perhaps be on an account that you don't want to be using or isn't tied to Dragon Age Inquisition. So this is a good way for us to kind of just double check that you are indeed on the right account as you're about to use the Keep and getting ready to play DAI. On the first visit, so if we go ahead and proceed through there, when you first land on the Keep, the first thing that we're going to do is actually try to synchronize with the past game servers for Dragon Age Origins and Dragon Age 2. And this is basically trying to get an understanding of whether you played the past games, whether you have played some of the previous DLC, as well as trying to sync your record of accomplishments, what reward items, and obviously if we miss something you can troubleshoot it later on, but it's a good way to reinforce that you are also on the right account. We've introduced the item names, so for those that are on the beta, previously we just had the icons showing up, now it actually says what they are. Jeff's got a lot of things on his account. So again, this is the first time you do it. Subsequent logins won't actually go through this. They'll pick up what changes if you've gone back and maybe you unlocked another achievement or something along those lines. It'll pick that up, but it won't go through this entire process unless you choose to do that. One of the other things is we tried to pull across the previous heroes that you uploaded to us. So once it's done synchronizing your record, if you did upload heroes to either Dragon Age Origins or Dragon Age 2, it will recognize that and offer for you to pick one of those heroes. As you guys know, heroes are very integral to the story, and in particular, some of the attributes like their race or gender or class and their origin story makes a huge difference in terms of what kinds of choices are available. So this already recognizes the heroes that you've uploaded, as we can see here on Jeff's account for Dragon Age Origins. Maybe in this case we'll pick male dwarf noble. You guys probably see me on the forums, you know, I'm partial to that for some reason. Warrior. And then for DA2 we can maybe go with female mage hawk. Anyways, so if you have your heroes uploaded, you can it'll detect that and you can pick that. If you don't, or for some reason we couldn't sync them across, that's fine too. What will happen is we provide a list of pre-made ones that you can pick from. And again, the main thing to keep in mind is you're really taking into account their gender and their race and class and so forth. The next thing that we're going to show you is a brand new feature, which even our keepers haven't seen. It's something that we've been working in the background for quite some time. It's the much fabled play button. So this will actually already start to take into account some of the decisions that you're making, such as the heroes that you selected. It is very much in progress still. We still got a while to go on this. But essentially, when you finish the sync, you can now sit back, relax, and rediscover the key events of the past games through the ISS. For now, we're going to join it already mid-story, but obviously once it's launched, it'll have all the key events from Origins and DA2. So hopefully the audio is working for this as well.
With the traitorous Loghain now seated on Ferelden's throne, the Warden sought help from the influential Arl Eamon of Redcliffe. However, they arrived in Redcliffe to find the town under siege, as each night, undead rose in waves and assailed the battered village.
Alright, so narrated by the one and only Brian Bloom, the voice of Varric. The ISS takes you on an animated journey through the key events of the Dragon Age series, leading up to Dragon Age Inquisition. So you can just sit back and watch it, or you can also choose to interrupt and make decisions along the way, such as here. And obviously those decisions will have a ripple effect.
Departed Redcliffe without lending aid to its people. A devastating attack followed. The Wardens reached Arl Eamon's castle only to find the Arl lying at the edge of death, and his court fallen into hands. To save his father's life, Eamon's young son, Connor, had taken to deal with the demon and quickly fallen victim to its possession. The hero intervened, freeing Connor from possession.
Alright.
I messed it up.
That's alright. So we're not going to spoil it too much. We'll exit that, and this will take you now to the Tapestry. So the Tapestry has been updated with all new color art, which is one of the big requests that we had from the beta testers. Beautiful, beautiful art, and it's very much got obviously the Dragon Age feel. Just watching your reaction.
Hi guys.
Good. I'm glad you guys like it. So really, for those that are looking for deep customization, this is really the place. The Tapestry is where you're going to be able to make a very unique world of Thedas. It has over 300 choices from Origins and DA2, as well as the expansion and all the DLCs. It will also start to take into account some of the choices, such as the hero. So if we go into Dragon Age Origins, into the hero tile, you can see that it has our Dwarf Noble there, as well as the ISS choices. So if we go to Arl Redcliffe, for example, It will have recognized some of the choices made through the ISS on there as well. With the autosolver technology as well, you literally can make as few or as many choices on here as you want. The world is always valid and it's ready for import into DAI the minute that you make a decision. So for example, with Sten, if we didn't recruit him, so it will actually tell us that this is a problem and it conflicts with a different choice that you've made, and you can go ahead and choose to accept that, which will make the impact on the subsequent choices, essentially writing the world so that you make sure that there's no conflicts in terms of the import there. The other thing is you are able to lock decisions as well. So for example, if I really wanted to have my female warden end with Alistair as on the throne of Ferelden, I can lock that and choose that answer. This will automatically, obviously is telling me that I have to change to a female character, and it'll pick one for me, as well as any other conflicts will get resolved. And now if I go to the hero choice and I try to change it back to a male character, for example, it would warn me that I have actually locked that choice and I need to first unlock it. And this is a way that you can protect things that are very important to you, such as particular endings or certain romance choices. The autosolver would do its best to work around it, and where it can't, it'll prompt you for how you'd like to solve those problems. Obviously, it's not meant to replace your experience in the game. The choices do provide some context as well. So for example, above each of the decisions, you can select the question mark icon. It's not meant to spoil anything. It is really just to try to jog your memory, but it is a good way to recall the past, and also to give you a chance to explore all the what ifs around areas that maybe you didn't realize existed in the games, or decisions that you couldn't bring yourself to make as you were playing the game. You can explore those here and then see what the impact of that will be. It is still in progress, but right now over 200 of these choices will actually get imported into Dragon Age Inquisition in some form. Obviously some of those can be as simple as a very quick nod to the decision, and others will have much deeper repercussions, which we'll let you guys figure out. When you're done making those decisions, you can go to the World State Manager, and this is really where you're able to manage multiple worlds, each of them having unique choices. You can name these worlds. You'll see that we've introduced preview images as well. So it gives you a preview for some of the key decisions of Origins and DA2 for that world. You can actually share that with friends as well, and then they can take that world and either apply it into their Dragon Age Inquisition or make further changes before doing so. And then at this point, we would probably jump into, I don't know if we'll get a chance to jump into Dragon Age Inquisition live, but I can walk you through a little bit. Once you've exported into DAI here in the Keep, basically we'd fire up your game, and from the main menu, make sure that you're on the same Origin account as you're using here on the Keep. You would select New Game, and then as part of the New Game flow, you'll be prompted whether you would like to import your history from the Keep, and you say yes, and it really is just as simple as that. So that's basically it. So before you go, again, I just wanted to pass on my thanks to everyone that's been a part of the beta program. The Keep is really made for you, for fans, so it made sense to have you directly involved as early as possible. The Keepers, as they call themselves, have been collaborating with us for months now, and really what you're seeing here today is an end result of that direct collaboration and their direct impact through their feedback. There's still a lot more to come, and you can still sign up to the Keep beta at dragonagekeep.com. Right now we do have over 100,000 applicants already, so again, we do apologize if we don't get you in right away, but the Keep will open its doors before Dragon Age Inquisition, so everyone will be able to play with it. I hope you enjoyed the demo, and we're happy to answer any questions.